As I can be. Okay, perfect. All right. I'm in here. Hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Let's try to get this as right as I can. Okay. Hello. How are you guys? How are you guys? Hello, hello. I still can't do my glasses. I'm going to do my hair probably like tomorrow so I could get my glasses back on. It's hard to do these lives without my glasses. Hey, y'all. Hey. How are you guys? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Oh my gosh. This week has come and gone almost. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. How are you guys? How are you? Hello, hello. I am not gonna be before you guys long. It is Thursday, and primarily, I want to say, how have y'all been? I'm waiting on a few folks to join, but in the meantime, I have been trucking. Oh my gosh, I've been trucking. I'm at a place where as you see in the title, it says "Let It Go." I'm at a place where, y'all, what's not for me, what's not for my business, what's not for my progression, I have to let go. I have to, for the sake of my peace, for the sake of me showing up every single day, for the sake of me being able to coach my clients, be resourceful, and actually not only oversee like operations, but I have to be able to think big, think long term, make good solid decisions, and I can't do that if I'm carrying so much, So I had to learn to let it go. That's where I've been this week, just kind of processing everything that's been before me. And that's why I'm here, to claim some things for y'all and to claim some things for myself. Because like I say, I coach clients, I'm enrolling new clients, and I'm so sorry, y'all, my eyelash is still wet. In coaching clients, in being resourceful, helping folks start their businesses, I've learned so much. And as I learn, like I say, I always like to share my lessons. And for me to be productive as often as I can, I've learned that I got to let things go. Whatever's not for me, I have to let it go. What's not for my business, I have to let it go. What's not for my productivity, I have to let it go. Even progression in my business, I also learned that recently. There's a difference between progression and productivity. Like, progression is what we aim for. We want to make progress in our weight loss journeys. We want to make progress when we're actually paying that college tuition. We want to make progress on our jobs. And we can't fully do that if we're just busy being productive all the time. And like I say, as an entrepreneur, you have to wear so many hats. You have to oversee so much. And all of that, I realized that it's best to recalibrate, take a step back, and make sure that you're aligning with progression and not productivity only. I'm not saying don't be productive. I'm not saying don't be intentional about trying to strive for better, trying to set goals and actually attain them. But like I say, in my efforts, in my execution, all week, I have to come and share what's helpful. I have to come and share where I'm at, where I'm going, because I like to be a valid demonstration of entrepreneurship. And it's so much more than just the glory days. It's so much more than just the successful high ticket, high dollar days. Like, it's so much more than that. It's a lot of effort, work, execution, diligence, discipline. I could say that all day. So like I say, let it go. That's the topic for tonight. And everything I say, I like to use myself as a valid example so that I'm not stepping on toes or talking. So I use myself as examples, but in my execution, in my life happens to everybody. Life happens to everybody. So as life is happening to me, I had to realize I can't deal with everything. Not everything deserves a response. Not everything deserves my energy. Not everything am I at a place where I could give my attention to that. So we have to learn to let things go. We have to learn to not carry the weight. We have to learn to be durable. Like, life's gonna happen. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. But that's why I come on here and I teach and preach entrepreneurship so much, because it's a skill set that teaches you how to navigate life smoothly. It's a skill set that teaches you how to be durable and actually find the solution fast. You can't only be looking and, okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to do this. No, you have to be solution driven, and you got to be quick. So in entrepreneurship and being solution driven and being quick, I had to learn I got to let things go. What's not for me, what's not for my progress, what's not helping me progress, I have to let go. That goes on the back burner. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's hard when we deal with life, when we deal with, like I said on Friday's Live, we deal with external expectations a whole lot. Yes, definitely, you have to let things go in life, simply because if you don't, you're going to walk around heavy. Like they say, bag lady, you're going to walk around so heavy, and it's unattractive. People see through all of that heaviness. It gets miserable. Like, let's just talk facts. It gets miserable carrying all that weight, dealing with all the mess. And for myself, I troubleshoot and do all of that for me and my clients. So sometimes I have to take a step back and say, you know what? This isn't working, or maybe I need to rearrange my schedule, because like I say, productivity is great, but what about the progress? Is the productivity actually adding to the progress, or is it just consistent of random positivity all day? Like, make it make sense. And it's hard because, like I say, life happens. Life happens. We get distracted. We get overwhelmed. You have to balance life at home. I know that's my daily journey. I still haven't gotten to my laundry room. But at the end of the day, you have to balance. I'm sorry, y'all. My eyelashes are wet. I try to make sure I'm not raggedy when I come on here talking to y'all. But like I say, in this week, that's been the lesson. Let it go. Let it go. In my entrepreneurship journey, in my personal development journey, I learned it was a lot of external things that were keeping me stagnant and not being able to execute. And that's an issue. We can't keep having the same problems. And I know it's not just me. But I know I'm one that's vulnerable and open enough to call it what it is. I'm going to call it what it is, say what needs to be said, and share how I made it through all of that. So throughout this week, honestly, as I kept getting the revelation, I guess, of let it go. If it's not adding to your progress, let it go. I was able to think so much clearer. I was able to be way more productive. Tonight, prime example, 2 weeks ago, I bought a pack of salmon, and I said I was going to make me some fried salmon bites because I saw somebody make those on IG. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try this, do me some fried salmon bites. I've had the whole pack in the freezer for about 2 weeks. So finally, I'm to the point where it's like, I used to eat more white meat. I'm eating red meat nowadays. I like steak, and it's a problem. So in that, it's like, I have to recalibrate. I have to adjust. Yes, I may eat my steak with the green vegetable, but that doesn't equate to the productivity. It doesn't equate to the progress that I'm trying to make. It's productive to eat greens with my steak, but it doesn't equate to my progress. So That's a prime example. Sometimes we have to let it go. Let it go. I know things hurt. Life is gonna happen to us. We're gonna get hurt because we're dealing with humans, and none of us are perfect. We all are flawed. We all come with the mess. We all come with baggage. So because of that, we're bound to get hurt, disappointed, or upset or frustrated with somebody else just because of human nature. So because of that, let it go. We got to let it go. And some things are meant to be that distraction for us. Some things are meant solely to be that distraction for us. And I'm to the point where I can't deal with that distraction anymore. I'm trying to level up. And in this leveling up thing, it's like as soon as you overcome the obstacles of that level, it's like, woo, yay, I did it. But then you back at the bottom because you got a new level you're trying to get to. So because of that, do you really have time to carry the weight? No. Do you really have time to carry the extra baggage? Absolutely not. But we get distracted. We get distracted by life. We get distracted by the responsibilities. We get distracted by, like I say, the external mess that doesn't equate to our progress. But that's where like solitude and recalibration, being alone, actually quieting the noise, that's where things like that come into play. And a lot of times we hear those suggestions and we kind of overshadow them, like small matter, it's not really gonna help. Like, what is 5 minutes, 10 minutes alone by myself gonna do me? I know for sure for myself, if I don't get 10 minutes, as soon as I wake up, I need 10 minutes of don't talk to me, give me a minute, don't ask me any questions. I just need that minute to be me, pray, be one with myself and knowing what I'm about to do for the day, and then go. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I think too often, way too often, we actually avoid that. And that's why we walk around so confused. So confused. We're not in alignment with the progress that we want to make. And especially for us entrepreneurs, we don't have time to deal with that. For our parents out there, I know it's some parents watching. We don't have time to deal with any distractions. So because of that, we have to let things go. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's simple. It's that simple. It is. It's that simple. You can let it go simply, not easily though. And that's where the, I guess, pitfall can come in. So in letting it go, what I suggest, first, I've said this, I'm going to continue to say it. It's time for us to create environments for our thoughts to have sound. It's time for us to create an environment for our thoughts to have sound, for our emotions to have sound, our experiences to have sound. Give noise to it. Let it make a sound, because sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. Sometimes it's uncomfortable because it causes us to stretch. It causes us to grow, and that can be intimidating. So unless you're ready for that, you got to prepare. You have to prepare. So journaling, I say it all the time, and it's transformational. I know on the days where I don't journal, I feel the difference. It's been times where I'm so busy executing, trying to actually equate to the progress. And in the midst of that, I may miss a day of journaling. And missing that day of journaling, I feel it. I feel it mentally, physically, emotionally, definitely emotionally. That's when those triggers are easy to be met or touched. That's when those triggers are easy to get to, when we don't give our thoughts sound. So that's really important. Journaling is a huge factor that can help you in letting go of some of that daily weight that you carry. I call that a time for self-evaluation. I do that at least 3 times a week or as needed. And yes, and that's great. And for some of us, honestly, it's needed a little more often than 3 times a week. But the fact that you do it, the fact that you embrace it, it's really about the self-awareness that's required to say, you know what, let me recalibrate. Let me see what I'm doing. Let me see what I got going. Am I really representing myself according in alignment with who I want to be? So that's important that you do that. It's good that you do that. I'm happy that 3 times a week or as needed works for you, because I know once a day is sometimes not enough for me, and that's okay too. That's okay too. But journaling and letting things go, like I say, journaling is a huge factor. Of course, I always say seek guidance, seek counsel. But in that, I understand it's hard. It's hard to seek guidance and counsel when you've been put in a position where you've tried that and it didn't go so well. So I understand that. However, seek guidance and counsel in all the ways you can. So for myself, in letting go a lot of things that are heavy, a lot of weight, whether it's family problems, friend problems, intimate relationship problems, whatever that looks like, there are tons of life coaches, tons of mentors, business coaches on YouTube, on Instagram. Find somebody that speaks to you. And what I mean when I say speak to you, the folks that I found that are for me, anything I deal with in life, they happen to say something, to touch on that topic within a 2-week time span of me experiencing that. If 2 weeks. So trust me, when you find the folks that are for you, it's going to be like a divine thing. Kind of like I say, when I gifted courses back in October, my clients that received those courses, that was divine. They are mothers, they are winners, and I know for sure I'm meant for them and they're meant for me. So it's important that we actually are intentional about seeking counsel, but also seek it from somebody that's for you, because I know what it's like to value or value, honor, and cherish the opinion of somebody, thinking that, yeah, you're in a counsel mentor type of role and they disappoint you. I know what that's like as well. So in that, I encourage you, seek counsel, recalibrate with that counselor. If at any point maybe your spirit's like, I need a little bit more, you're not giving it all to me, it's nothing at all wrong with having more than one counselor, more than one mentor, more than one therapist. Like, all of this is needed. Honestly, it's needed. So if you need more than one, get more than one. It's just about doing what you have to do to let go of the mess that's distracting you. Let go of the mess that's holding you back. Let go of the mess that's stopping you from doing what you want, being who you want, being who you desire to be, even though it's hard. Like I say, it's not easy, but it's that simple. Just let it go. Give it sound. That's what I've said so far. Give it sound. And then after I said give it sound, seek counsel. Seek counsel. That's really important, because as somebody, there's always somebody who's experienced exactly what you're going through. And they can give you one word that can last you months of navigation. They can give you one word that can last you seasons of durability. So it's up to us to seek counsel. I know for sure it puts us in a student position, but in life, there's no blueprint to this besides the Bible. So if you don't read and embrace that often, what other blueprint do you have? So because of that, seek counsel. It's helpful. You don't have to broadcast it. Just allow your character to speak for you. Allow your transformation to speak for you. But seeking counsel can elevate you. It can help you. It can take you to the next level, for sure. For sure. It's been a pleasure and honor listening. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, you as well. I definitely hope this helps someone. Honestly, that's why I do this. I know what it's like being an aspiring entrepreneur and having deficiencies. You have things you're going through where you're like, I want this. I know I should qualify. I know if I try to have integrity, I should definitely qualify, because it's people who don't have integrity at all whatsoever and they're killing it. So if they can do it, I can do it, but I just don't know how. That's why I do this, honestly. That's why I do this, because I know what that's like. Friday's live, I got a little emotional, but like I said, I spoke to the misery that comes with not really living the life you desire, and that's why I do this, to help, because I know it's I was praying today. I was thinking and praying. I was kind of in CEO mode. I was thinking long-term decisions, and it just fell on me. Like, I know for sure it's an audience of folks out there who want entrepreneurship. I know for sure it's an audience of folks out there who want different. It's an audience of folks out there who college isn't for them, but entrepreneurship could be. But they need somebody to help them. They need guidance. They need mentorship. So I'm working on quite a few things so I can be way more resourceful, because I know for sure that it takes resources to purchase courses. It takes resources to start a business. It takes money to make money, as they say. So in that, I definitely want to just pour into that audience that I know is out there, that lacks support, that lacks reassurance, that lacks the know-how, has the skill, has the will. They have the knowledge, but they may not have all the knowledge, so they just need a little bit of guidance, just a little bit of support. So I'm here doing this for those folks. I'm doing this for them. So thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it, and this is not the last of me. If anything, it's only the beginning. And I'm looking, honestly, let me make this clear. I am looking to partner with some folks who want entrepreneurship. If you want entrepreneurship and you're ready, you know for sure, okay, maybe right now I don't have the resources, but 3 months from now I will. Partner with me. I can just be a mentor to you. We can do weekly calls, whatever. However, it's time for us to be supportive to one another. And like I say, in this whole let it go topic, it's time for us to let go of the mess that's not for us, so we can actually make room for the folks that are. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the generosity of people actually committing to their calling. The life coach, the millionaire life coach that certified me, if he didn't commit to his calling and actually submit to the process of entrepreneurship, then I wouldn't be here today as a life coach, as an entrepreneurship coach, sharing my knowledge, sharing my experience. I wouldn't be here. So because of that, I definitely want to follow that trend and help put some folks in position to where they can live the lives of their dreams. They can strategize how they can get there a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. And do I think it takes that long? Not at all. Not at all. My clients, as of right now, every single client I have is on a 6-month program. So because of that, it doesn't at all take you even the 6 months to start a business. But when it comes to planning, strategizing, and profitability, I think starting a business is a skill set you should learn and embrace before you're actually operational. I stand by that. You should learn it and embrace it before you're operational. I'm still to this day learning certain things that I should have put in place before I launched my business. So every time I learn something, that's fine. I have paid clients. So every time I learn something, I update my curriculum, let them in on what I've learned, and boom, we're good. So in that, I'm just here to, I know for sure it's an audience of folks who are not in a position to be a paid client, buying courses and learning all this different entrepreneurship jazz. I get that. However, eventually it takes the right wording. Let me say this, it takes the right wording. And I know for sure it takes life. Right now, you may not want my offer, but life can happen to you. And 3 months from now, you may say, hey, let me take a chance on me. So I'm always going to be here because I know that audience is out there. And I know for sure the misery of not actually trying to attain what you desire, that's miserable. That's miserable. We all can either agree, disagree, acknowledge it, or overlook it. I know for some folks, that's a little too vulnerable for them to actually say out loud, like they're not with all that. So in that, I understand, but let me be an example. Let me be a demonstration, because it's time out. It's time out. It's time out. And like I say, I wish there was someone like me who 2 years ago, a year ago, poured into me on this level, turned on a camera and said, hey, I know for sure it's an audience of folks who need this, need that. Let me be that for you. I didn't have that. Or if I had it, I had to go on this platform to get it from this person, that platform to get it from that person, purchase this course, get this webinar, and piece it all together for myself. So, woo! And all that, I don't want anybody to have to go through the chaos, the chaos that I went through of learning everything I've learned thus far. So if I can put it in an ebook, I'm going to do that. If I could generate a course, I'm going to do that. But back to the topic at hand. Let it go. Let it go. In my week, like I say, I've experienced some things this week. My light is really like twitching. I'm not so sure why. I'm sorry, y'all. Hopefully it stopped. I think it stopped. So in my week of realizing I need to let things go, I've done well. Let me say this. I tell you guys, journal. Make sure you journal and give sound to anything you experience so that you can experience it, process it, and then let it go. I do that. I've done that. So anything from that I'm speaking of that I had to let go, it's from this year. Let me make that clear. Anything I say I had to let go is from this year. 2021 is exactly where it is. And hopefully that's for all of us. So in my weeks of just realizing what happens to me, I need to let that go. Yeah, they overstepped a boundary. I'm going to reinforce that boundary. But in the meantime, I got to let that go because I still got a business to run. I still got a house to clean. My dog still needs feeding. So in that, I have work to do. I can't dwell on it. We're going to experience those moments of life happening to us, and then we have to let it go. But now let me talk to you guys about what happens after you let it go. Okay. What happens after you let it go? This is the good part. Oh my gosh, this is the good part. After you let go the mess, you get clarity. First, after you let go of the mess, you get clarity simply because you have to reevaluate that mess. She said this to me. He did that to me. Something happened to me. I experienced something that didn't make me feel so great. So let me process why it didn't. Let me process what it triggered. Let me process how it affected me. Should it have affected me that much? Should it be something I should let go of easier? If it is, why is it that much of an impact on me? Why is it so impactful? Why does it have so much power? That's important for us to actually process as we're dealing with things. So after you get all of that clarity, from there you can navigate easily. I know what it triggered. So let me first honor this trigger. What's the word? I have to honor the trigger. After I honor the trigger, I have to affirm myself, reaffirm myself that trigger no longer holds weight, because the quality of folks I have in my life today, they're not even going to touch that trigger with a 10-foot pole, because I require what I require. I'm not bending on any of that. So yes, someone probably tried it. Someone probably got caught slipping, because it's typically the ones we let a little close. We know it's the friends that we let too close, and them the ones where, okay, they do something and I gotta let it go. Or it's the family members, we let them a little too close. We may talk about something that typically is a little like off limits. We don't talk about that. But this time, okay, we friendly today, so I'm gonna let you in on it, but then you overstep. Then you overstep your boundary. So now I have to reinforce that boundary. And then I have to reaffirm myself that in reinforcing that boundary, it's because they triggered something. And on top of them triggering something, they done created a new trigger, an update to that trigger. Like, it's time out. So we honor it, we process it, and then we let it go. And after we let it go, that's when the blessings come. That's when the blessings come. That's when the clarity comes. After you clarify what happened, you process what happened to you. From there, nothing but blessings. After that, you repeat the process. For one, you repeat the process. So the level of clarity, the level of peace, the level of poise, the level of upgrade that you feel like you got simply because I navigated that well. I did good. They didn't break me down or affect me in the way that typically they would. So because of that, you know what? I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to keep it pushing. So in the midst of us doing that and repeating that process, we're strengthening ourselves. We're building that momentum. We're building that durability. We're building that flexibility. So like I say, that's where the blessings come. I know for sure for myself. To further let you guys in on my process, like I say, I dealt with things. Those things, really, I needed to let them go because they were distractions. They were trying to distract me from everything I had going on, because on the other side of the distraction is the progress. You know how earlier I just spoke to progress over productivity. On the other side of you actually overcoming all that mess and letting it go, on the other side of that is the progress. That's where the progress is. So, I was struggling, I know last week, I told you guys I had to rearrange some marketing. I had to rearrange my marketing team because my previous setup wasn't working. Current setup is killing it. So that's amazing. However, after marketing, it's like if it's not one thing, it's another. And in being intentional, I always tell my clients, we have to forecast and we have to foresee entrepreneurship. We have to actually forecast and honor our projections, because at the end of the day, that's what makes or breaks our business. So in teaching that, I've been at a place where I'm like, okay, this is the next thing I need to put in place. I couldn't even get to the place where I could mentally compose a plan of what's next, because I had weight that was trying to distract me. I missed a day or so of journaling, so it'll linger a little longer than it was supposed to. I deal with it, recover, move forward, and then boom, another distraction. So after overcoming that consistent battle, that's when I got to a place where I unlocked the level. I unlocked that next level. Like unlocking that next level to where I could actually think clear enough to think on a CEO level, to think on the long-term level. What's the next? I'm trying to build a very lean team. I don't want a whole lot of staff, simply because my entrepreneurship process I like to replicate. So my huge staff is going to come with the different business ventures. That's the concept, the mindset that I coach my clients to embrace, because we're dreaming big. We're not half-stepping. We're not shortchanging this thing. If we're going to sacrifice for it, we're sacrificing to go all in. So, in dreaming big, I'm like, what's the next plans, the next steps I need to take? And that's when it dawned on me that I actually unlocked that next level once I got to a place where I could just avoid the distractions. I could weed out the distractions. So that's why letting go is so important, because we're seeking progress. We're trying to make the progress. We're trying to do better. We're trying to be better. And all of that is great. Let me watch my tone. I feel like I'm yelling. I hope I'm not yelling. I hope I'm not yelling. I definitely don't want to come across as the yelling. But it's important for me to get this message across. On the other side of letting go is the progress. On the other side of us letting go of all the mess, letting go of all the weight, letting go of all the distractions, that's where we unlock the next level to where we can actually see, feel, and experience our progress. So me thinking this morning, when I was thinking like, okay, I need to hire this team member, I probably can only, I could subcontract this one because I don't need their services that often. That's a seasonal service versus this is a every month, maybe twice a month service. So I'm navigating these plans and I'm trying to compose a solid strategy of what's next for the last 2 seasons of the year. And that's when I realized I unlocked the next level, when I let go of all that mess, when I let go of the distractions, when I let go of things that did not equate to my progress. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it does. Because it's really important for us to learn to let things go that don't suit us. And I know it's not easy. That's why I made sure I gave you guys ways that you can do that. You do that by journaling. You do that by seeking counsel. If you can't seek counsel financially, okay, fine. Get on YouTube. Find somebody that resonates with you. Get on IG, find somebody that resonates with you. I didn't realize in this coaching, consulting industry, this is really taking off. It's really taking off. It's taking off on a whole new level, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, it's taking off on a whole new level. I came across the coach. We're in the same mentorship program. And I came across a coach. She's a body and image coach. Body and image. And not like the body contouring type of coach. No. She just coaches women on how to actually represent themselves in the way that they want to, according to their current body style, according to their current image. And she coached them through the process of actually getting to the image that they desire, getting to the body style that they desire, and how to navigate representing her once she gets there. So literally, anything you feel like you need, if you feel like you need support in your image, get on YouTube. There's an image coach. If you feel like you need support in your fashion, get on IG or YouTube. There's a fashion coach. There are so many resources out there for us that it's no reason why these minimal distractions should be holding us back long term. They should not be holding us back long term. They should not be stopping us on this type of level, because our progress is waiting on us. Our destiny is waiting on us. Our futures are waiting on us. And I once heard somebody say, if you don't do what you're called to do, how many more of you does your family have to produce to actually get the job done? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I'll say it one more time. If you don't actually pursue what you're called to do, how many more of you does your family have to produce in order to get you to get the job done? How many? And for me, I don't know about y'all. But for me, I know On my mom's side, there's a lot of college graduates. There's a lot of working folks in the workforce. There aren't many entrepreneurs. There aren't many. Some have started entrepreneurship and kind of taken a step back. There aren't many of us. On my father's side, I'm blessed to say that I have a cousin who's a health and wellness holistic coach, which is amazing. So she does coaching as well. So on my dad's side, there's one more of us, but there's not many of us there either. So because of that, if entrepreneurship is something that you can introduce to your family, to elevate your family, transform your family, take your family to the next level in whatever sort that suits them best. If that was something you can bring to your family, do you really want to overshadow that opportunity and wait hundreds of years until another brave you or a braver version of you is produced to where they're willing to execute? For me, the answer was no. I'd be furious. I'd be miserable. I'd be miserable. I said it on Friday. I said it on, Monday. I'm saying it today. In the event you don't pursue the life you want, that equates to misery. We know that. That's why when we get up and go to work, we're miserable. When we get up and do what we don't want to do, we're miserable. All of a sudden, I'm depressed again. And some of us, we really do suffer from depression. So I'm not knocking that. Some of us suffer from anxiety. I'm not knocking that. However, the trigger for the depression is that misery. The trigger for that anxiety is that misery. So it's up to us to make sure we're not triggering what we already know we have. I know that I struggle with this. So because of that, I don't need to allow misery anywhere in my reality, because that's going to trigger that history. It's going to trigger what I'm trying to make history. And that's where we have to tap into that strength. That's where we have to provide tools and resources for ourselves, like journaling, like seeking counsel, getting coaching, going on YouTube, finding that business coach that resonates with you, going on Instagram, finding, like I say, that image or body coach. I'd never heard of an image or body coach up until about a month ago. When that lady and I connected in the coaching group that we're in, I would have never known that there's an image and body coach. So because of that, you can, and nowadays, all it takes is experience. Right now, I have a sister working a HR position that required her to have a bachelor's degree. She is not college degreed. She's not. And that's such a blessing, because it goes to show experience holds just as much weight. That's why entrepreneurship is booming. That's why it's booming, because experience holds just as much weight. And like I say, I coach my clients, pull out your resume. Assess your current skill sets. We're not going to go and find a business venture that consists of you learning and trying to study and grasp this skill set for so long and then execute. That's going to make your life hard. That's going to make it tough on you. That may be a little harder than what we prefer. So because of that, assess your resume. You have a skill set. Whether it's typing, whether it's graphics, whether it's, it could be anything. It could be, I don't know, what's the construction, I can't think of it. I don't know, something on the handyman side of doing like sawing type stuff. It could be anything. Where does your experience lie? That's the point. Are you a mechanic? What can you teach? honestly. And us letting go of all the mess, letting go of all our history, letting go of all that baggage, that's what's gonna unlock the next level to where we can actually think about what it is that we want, to the point where we can actually think about what it is that we desire, to the point where we can actually think about what's that skill set that I forgot I even knew how to bartend. I forgot I even knew how to do that. I forgot I even had that skill set. I forgot I took the Serve Safe certification when I was in the coaching in the hotel industry. So because of that, I have food safety and food safety and sanitation license. That's what I'm trying to say. Woo, that was a lot. So we can have these certifications, we can have these licenses, we can have these skill sets, and we sit on them and we sleep on them because life is happening to us. The folks around us have diminished us. So because of that, we forget who we are. So we got to let go of the mess that they try to write us off as. We have to let go of the mess that we know for sure we're not, so that we can unlock that next level to remember who we were always supposed to be. So it's important. I'm saying all that to say, y'all, it's important. It's important for us to let go of the mess that doesn't hold weight, the mess that doesn't equate to our progress, the mess that isn't conducive for who we're called to be. It's time. It's time to let go. It's time to let go. And we, like I say, when it comes to progress versus productivity, we could be productive till we're blue in the face. But if that does not equate to progress, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're prolonging our own process. We're prolonging our own process if we don't actually just be intentional. Progress. Is this equivalent to me making progress? Am I going to capture that sale? Am I going to book that client? Am I going to market that product? Am I going to go on Canva and just try to design some graphics? Can I do that? Am I going to try? That's what it comes down to. Am I going to try? And I know with letting go, when it comes to the hard things, like the traumas, like I say, the depressions, the anxieties, those are real. Those are real. And I don't want to discredit those. However, I don't want to handicap you guys into thinking that you can't overcome that either. I can't do that either. I can't. I learned a phrase recently. What's it called? We have limiting beliefs, and then we have enabling beliefs. I can't enable you guys in thinking that you're inadequate and that you can't accomplish anything that you put your mind to. I can't enable you in thinking that. And in life, we have to be graceful with ourselves and provide ourselves the enabling beliefs. We have to give ourselves space to actually have tools and resources that support us in what we believe. And that's what enabling beliefs are. So I know for sure entrepreneurship is a skill set that can help women and men personally and professionally. So to provide myself enabling beliefs about that, I have tons of entrepreneurship books. Tons. I have some down here on my desk. I have some actually that I have my phone propped up on. I have some books that I'm actually gifting my clients. I have 2 books that I need to order. I'm gifting my clients, because I know for sure entrepreneurship is a skill set that can help women and men navigate life so much more smooth, and just be in a position to where when life happens to them, they have enough resources to where they could take a step back and not miss a beat. And we can't do that with our jobs. We take a step back, they're going to have somebody forward. We can't do that with our jobs. So it's up to us to be intentional about giving us the setup that we deserve. And like I say, I'm going to enable you guys and believe in that you can do that you can achieve that, you can attain that, you can strive for that, you can strategize your way to that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's time for us to believe it. It's time for us to let go of everything that is meant to be a distraction. Honestly, if it's not helping you attain and sustain the progress that you're wanting to make, then it's only meant to distract you into thinking that, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not qualified enough. Maybe I'm not adequate enough. And that's where we gotta fight. That's where we gotta activate. That's where we gotta let go. The place where it's the hardest to let go is where you need to let go the most. I can say that from experience. Say that from experience. In my business, personally and professionally. In the place that you need to, in the place where you feel so stuck. That's where you need to let go the most. That's the place that's holding you hostage. That's the place that's holding the most weight. Like I say, bag lady. It ain't cute. It ain't cute. People see through it. It's embarrassing once you're on the other side of that. That's like being overweight, being uneducated, being the outcast of any sort. You're in those positions simply because you don't know. But once you get to the place where you know, you're embarrassed because you know you went through a phase of not knowing. I know for sure, like I said, I say it. I grew up in the church. I was raised, we went to church every Sunday, wore stockings. We did Easter speeches, Christmas speeches, Thanksgiving plays and skits and all kinds of stuff. Choir, ushering, we did it all. So I saw church attire. And then I had a mom who always worked on the casino. So outside of church attire, I saw professional attire. I'm going to tell y'all a real joke. A real joke. So when I first started going out, I was going out looking like I was going to work because that was the only type of attire that I saw growing up. So because of that, what we don't know, we don't know. I can say that. What we don't know, we don't know, and it's not our fault. However, you get real embarrassed. It's times now where I get dressed and I'm like, oh, I'm cute. I am cute. And in all that, I look back to those Snapchat memories and I get upset. Like, why didn't somebody turn me around and tell me go back in the house and try again? So what you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. But once you realize it, it's embarrassing. So because of that, don't subject yourself to that no longer than you have to. That's the truth. Don't subject yourself to it no longer than you have to. Like I say, anything that's in front of you that's not helping you progress, that's a distraction. That's a distraction. I'm telling you, the people that's calling you just to dump on you, that's a distraction and it's annoying. The people that's calling you just to shoot you know the saying. That's a distraction and it's annoying. So because of that, weed out the distractions. Let it go, let it go, let it go. The folks that's for you gonna be for you. The folks that's gonna love on you regardless. They gonna understand why you stepping back. They gonna understand why you need a break. They gonna understand why you investing in you and you moving how you moving. They're gonna understand. They're gonna support you and they're going to be there with you and for you. They will. However, it's going to be some folks that's not for us. And that's okay, because letting go of all that mess, that's not for us. Like I say, that's how you elevate to the next level. That's how you get there. And once you get to the next level, that's when you can think clearly. That's when you can see clearly. That's when you can see yourself for who you're supposed to be. That's when you can hear your tone. You get your tone right. You get your character right. You get your image right. When you get to that place to where you're tapped in. But you can't tap into who you are, who you're supposed to be, where you're going. You can't get tapped into any of that with distractions or weight. And if you get tapped into it, you can't stay. If you get tapped into it, you cannot stay there. You can't. You won't sustain it simply because of the distractions. So you have to make sure you have strategy and resources to navigate those distractions. And that's what the whole progress statement is about. Is this conducive to my progress? If it's not, I'll talk to you later about it. Text it to me. I say that all the time. Like, I still do hair. And for my folks who want entrepreneurship and you have this skill set, but you have this passion you really leaning towards, do both until you don't have to do both. Or do both until you don't have time to do both. Do both until it just don't make sense anymore. So for me, I still do hair. But in the midst of doing that hair, I know for sure I'm doing hair. I'm coaching clients. I'm overseeing the marketing. I'm trying to delegate this so I can get more stuff off of my plate. So because of that, you text that to me, because that could be text. So that way I could focus on what's right in front of me. That simple. That simple. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, which is A-okay. We overcomplicate things. So, to simplify things for you guys, I'm trying to find this book. I have a book I want to suggest, and then I'm going to take a couple questions, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Any personal development or entrepreneurship questions, feel free to ask while I look in my desk for this book that I want to suggest to you guys. Like I say, it's time for us to let things go. Letting things go is how we unlock that next level. That's how you get the clarity you need. That's how you get the vision you need. That's how you get the discernment and the wisdom that you need in order to create the strategy, and in order to create the game plan. In order to say, okay, I do have that skill set that can actually take me into entrepreneurship. Like, it's about us being intentional about that. So, I don't see any questions. The book that I want to suggest really quick, if you have questions, go ahead, still put those in the comments. The book that I have for you guys, I've suggested this book a few times now, and I'm still going to, because the topic for tonight is let it go, and encouraging you guys to let it go. I want to give you resources. So there's a book. It's called Get Out of Your Head, and it's so transformational. Let me say that. It's so transformational. This is no sponsorship or nothing like that. It's just, this is a book that changed my life. This is a book that changed my thinking. It helped me realize that we have triggers, and unless you're tapped in and aware of those triggers, one trigger can cause you to spiral, and those spirals get nasty. Those spirals get ugly, and those spirals can cost you. Those spirals almost cost me. So because of that, I encourage you guys, read this book. It'll teach you how to think. It'll teach you how to navigate the hard times, the hard decisions, the hard moments, because life is full of hard moments, and it's about giving yourself tools, resources, and strategies to navigate those hard moments to where you can still live the life that you deserve. So, the book is called Get Out of Your Head. Y'all gotta excuse me. I broke my nails, and I'm not doing them things for a minute. The book is called Get Out of Your Head. It's by Jeannie Allen. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it says Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. I got this book because I was in Sarah Jakes Roberts' book club. I was in Sarah Jakes Roberts' book club. I actually need to kind of resubscribe to her book club. I was in her book club for a couple months, and this was either the first or second book that I received, and it actually came with the workbook. And like I say, it just really helped with knowing those triggers. Like I say, any miserable moment in life, it could be a moment as simple as you stubbing your toe. Any misery can it can have contact with the trigger. It can trigger some things. Misery can trigger things. So because of that, we have to know what our triggers are to know that when misery is happening to us, okay, misery just equated the trigger of anxiety. Misery just had contact and kind of stirred up the trigger of somebody diminishing me, the trigger of somebody talking about my character, the trigger of somebody trying to belittle me. And that, I've worked hard to get out of that place of being that girl that tolerated that. So because of that, we'll fly off the handle when really somebody probably was innocently not knowing, or maybe they didn't know when you had to check them. But either way, it's up to us to know what our triggers are so that when misery presents itself, we know how not to spiral. And that's what this book taught me. So really, that's all I have for you guys. Tonight was, I'm not going to say a simple night, but it was a night to where it was some things that needed to be said. It was some things that needed to be said for sure. It's important for us to learn to let things go. It's not easy, but it's necessary. It's not easy, but it's necessary. And we'll get there. We'll get to that next level once we let it go. We'll get the things we desire once we let it go. And whatever you have to sacrifice, know that you'll get that back tenfold. But it's up to us to get what we desire. It's up to us to get what we deserve. And it's up to us to let it go. Because we can't carry and take all our mess with us. That's just like if you go and get a new house, you get a new mansion or something like that. You go get that new house, you're not taking all this old stuff with you. You're going to get new stuff. So because of that, prepare yourself. New beginnings. Prepare yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone is entitled to the life that they desire, the life that they deserve. So prepare yourself. So with that being said, as I always say, I'm Cornisha. I'm your entrepreneurship coach. I'm a life coach, and I'm here to be a valid demonstration of entrepreneurship. It's so much more than the glory days. So I'm here. I show up just to share my knowledge and experience on ways that can help you guys navigate life personally and professionally so much smoother. So much smoother. As I always say, if it was up to me, I would be in corporate America. So I do this for you guys. I do it for me. I do it for us. This is a us thing. So until next time, which I'll see y'all tomorrow. Until next time, I will see y'all later. Good night, good night, good night. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful morning. And I will check in with y'all tomorrow. Bye. Good night, good night, good night.